Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. This week, I have the famous Kelly Romo.
Hello.
I really feel like, seriously, we need sound effects. Oh, that'd be cool if I had a board and I was like cool like that. And I could
Yes.
just press the button and then we have all the sound effects. That'd be fun. But I wouldn't know how to use it, and then it'd get all messed up, and then tech would go crazy, and then I'd lose my mind. Nobody wants to see that. Anyways, we are going to talk about what happens if you have to cancel. Okay, I'll just do my own sound effects. So we're going to talk about all the things about canceling. Listen, let's be honest. We don't want you to cancel, and Virgin doesn't either, which is why they have this amazing program for you. It's called the what? Fair and Flexible program.
Yes, it does.
And I don't really know if anyone knows that it's really called the Fair and Flexible, or is it like, do they like really talk about it?
I don't think they really talk about it. I think they named it that, and it kind of
It's like
went
an
by
inside
the
term.
Yeah,
I think they've said it a couple times.
yeah.
So, Fair and Flexible program basically is that they don't want you to cancel just as much as we don't as travel agents. We do not want you to cancel because guess what? I'm going to be honest with you. We don't get paid unless you sail. So we want you to sail. And truly up until very last minute, like they still don't pay us. I had a guy that literally didn't sail like the day of because I won't go there. But we don't get paid. So we want you to sail, but we also want, best interest for you. So please know that at our agency, we're going to, say, here's the reasons, where are your options, but we would like you to sail. Obviously, if you don't, you don't. It is what it is. But if you can't sail, dun, 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 what can you do, Kellers?
So it is very fair and flexible, I will say.
I agree.
I think it's one of the best cancellation policies out there.
1,000%.
If you had to cancel between the time you make your deposit and 120 days prior to sailing, which is when your final payment is due, your deposit will turn into a future voyage credit.
FVC for short, in case you ever see that.
So you're not going to lose your money. You're
Nope.
not going to get a refund. There's no cash back to you.
Yeah, there's no refunds, just so you know.
No refunds. Unless you cancel within 7 days of deposit. And that's if you're not using an MMVV. And there's a lot of stipulations to that. But if you are within before final payment, you will get an FVC, Future Voyage Credit, for your deposit. If you have made payments more than your deposit, you will get that back. That will come back to you in a refund. But the deposit, the 20%, will be a Future Voyage Credit that you have to use, book, and sail 1 year beyond the original sail date. So say you're sailing in July of 2026 and you cancel. You have until July of 2027 to sail.
Yep.
Not only book, sail.
Yes, very true. So after final payment, this is where the dates get a little scary. So do you know those dates off the top of your head? Because I don't know off the top of mind what they actually are. I can do some search. But it's between, it'll be 119, technically. Am I doing that right?
Mm-hmm.
119 and 46. Yeah. So between that time frame, so at this point, you've paid in full. So you've already paid in full, and now something's come up and you're not going. So at this point, between that time frame, everything is an FVC. Every single thing is an FVC. But you also have the option, if you have not done so at this point, you have the option to move your cruise and not lose your money. But if you move the cruise, remind me, I'm drawing a blank right now as we're saying this, they don't keep the promo, right? It goes to the prevailing promo.
Correct.
Yes. So if you move the cruise from whatever it's on now, say you just move it a date, you lose the promo that you have. So say you bought during wave season, you've got a bar tab, which is usually what people lose. And now you're moving it during a time frame that does not have a bar tab and it's just a discount off. You will lose that bar tab. So it doesn't matter where the sailing goes. It matters that you're moving it from the current promo, basically, and it will go to the prevailing rate. But you get to keep everything. So in between that time frame, after final payment, before 46 days, you can either get an FVC, like we said, or you can move your sailing and go to the prevailing rate.
And if you used a MNVV, Minex Virgin Voyages, for those who don't know, you can keep the benefits of the Sailor Loot one time. So you can make a one-time change to the sale date. But if you move it again, you're going to lose those perks, the loot. You're going to lose that.
Very true.
So,
and then inside 45 days, so 45 days in up until the time that you sail, you're
locked
SOL.
in. You're locked in.
Yes, you are locked and loaded.
Unless you have insurance and you're canceling for a covered reason, not just because, your granddaughter is graduating. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's reasons people think that are covered that are not.
Yes. All the time. It's funny. I'll get messages that go, something's come up. And every time I hear something's come up, y'all. So if you're my client and you send me something's come up, I already know that what's come up is like your niece's like party or something, or like your grandkids party or something like that. Because in general, when I usually write back and then like, this is what you're going to have to deal with, they're like, oh, I think I'll be going on that cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. So it's not like, so a lot of people think, and a lot of things that we see as travel agents, that people think it's like a hotel, that they think, because they don't read the terms and conditions. So always read your terms and conditions, obviously, that it's like a hotel and that you can cancel 5 days prior or even the night before. Nope, can't do that unless you have insurance. And even then, just so you know, insurance does not cover cancel for any reason. That went out the door with COVID. So when COVID happened, the cancel for any reason got dropped to 50%. So you don't even get if you buy a cancel for any reason on your insurance, because it's an extra added on option, it's usually 50%. It's anywhere between 50 and 75. So you're not even getting your full amount back. And cancel for any reason really just means cancel for any reason. Mm-hmm. But most insurances, and I shouldn't say most, all of insurance has to be for a covered reason. And usually I say those are the big ones that you don't want to happen. Mm-hmm. The reason why you're not going, right? Sickness, death, all the things that you don't want to happen, obviously. So that's majority of the things that we get. So when I hear something's come up, I'm like this. Yeah, let me tell you what that cancellation is. And then they're like, guess I'll be going to the cruise. Yep. Yeah, you will. So know that while Virgin has a great cancellation policy, we will say that other cruise lines, once you're in, man, you're in. You've lost your deposit. It's a done deal. You don't want to go anymore. It's over.
Non-refundable. Most cruise lines, non-refundable.
Yeah. You can buy refundable deposits, but the price goes up with other cruise lines. So if you want the refundable deposit because you're just not sure, you're waiting on Timmy's soccer game or something like that, which we all do, you can buy a refundable, but it will be higher in price, at least $500 to $1,000 more.
It's a whole lot more. Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent amount where you're like, oh, can I just do the non-refundable? But yeah, so Virgin has a really, really great cancellation policy, and fair and flexible.
That's if you're not purchasing a lock it in rate, because if you purchase something that says lock it in or red hot, that means you're locking it in at the price you're paying. You cannot change the sale date. You cannot cancel. You're not getting a future voyage credit. You're not getting any sort of refund. You can't even move the sailing. You can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't do anything. I always tell my clients you're in it to win it.
Yeah.
So when you get to the point that you feel like you're stuck and drowning and you still need to get out of this and you haven't bought insurance and, I don't know, your niece's graduation is way more important than a fabulous cruise, what are your options? Hello, ladies. I want to talk to you about Girls Gone Cruising because I want you to know what it's about. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite cruises. Every year we go on this cruise. It started years ago. And I know that everyone always wants to go on a girls trip. Everyone's like, girls trip, girls trip, girls trip. This is the ultimate girls trip. Yes, sure. It's not all of your friends, but guess what you're going to do? You're going to make new friends. So if you're a solo that's like, I'm not so sure, come join us because you're going to make friends. Some of the girls that have been on this trip are now like BFFs with the people that they've met on board, which is amazing. And I love that. It makes my heart happy. So what do we do on this Girls Gone Cruising? We have so much fun. Not only do we have fun, but we also relax. We curate an amazing itinerary for you that has a bunch of activities. And let's be honest, you can either do them or not. We don't really care. We care that we want you to have fun, but we don't care. We're not going to say, oh my gosh, so-and-so didn't join us for that class that we held. No, if you don't want to go and you end up just laying in your bed ordering breakfast because that's what you need to do that day, that's what you do that day. But what it is, it's really just about girls getting together and just having the best time ever. So please join us on Girls Gone Cruising this year. It's September 17th through the 21st, 2025. And we're sailing to Key West, which is my all-time favorite destination because there's a lot of fun to be had in Key West. And we're also going to Bimini. So please join us. It's a great, great time. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. We're trying to make a quota that I've wanted for a couple years, and I need you. So join us. See you there.
Well, you can sell it.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things to look for when you're selling cruises, which we have learned along the way.
Yes.
If the person you are buying the cruise from used a Future Voyage credit on their cruise, that stays with them. So when you see somebody selling a cruise for $2,000 and this person used an FVC for $1,000, you're going to owe that person $1,000 and you're going to owe Virgin $1,000. But sometimes people don't realize that they've done this.
Yeah.
And we've had it happen where we go to change names in the booking, which is another thing that's flexible with Virgin. You can change your names in the booking. And the price changes. Well, the price changes because that Future Voyage credit went back to the person that originally had it, and now you owe more money on the booking. So keep that in mind if you ever find yourself buying a cruise from someone or selling one knowing you did use a Future Voyage credit.
Yeah.
Because it gets tricky.
It does. And so that's the thing too, like we said, that you can buy and sell. So say, for example, that you are stuck, like we said, and you want to sell your cruise. You can sell it to your friend if you want, and we can change the name. Or you can sell it in a group basically and say, hey, this is what I have. But you got to be very careful for scammers and make sure that you don't put your confirmation or your booking number up there. Just the description, what's coming with it. People are going to want to know all the loot, what you got on there, how much it is, what your bar tab is, all those things are going to want to know, and then how to pay you. If it's with another travel agent, it helps a little bit more legitimacy. I'm going to be honest with you, because then the person buying it feels a little bit more comfortable versus also probably you buying it feels a little bit more comfortable because now you know that the travel agent is kind of involved. The suggestion is to do if you're not buying it through a travel agent, if you're not selling it through a travel agent, make sure that you're on the phone with Virgin doing a 3-way call with whoever is buying and selling it. Because that'll help cut down also on the scamming and all that stuff. But for me and Kelly, the way that we do it is we don't handle any money. So if a client is selling something, I actually tell them to do it on their own. I tell them to handle the money. When they tell me that the money has been sent, I then change the names for them. I do not handle any of that money.
Nope.
I don't know that I ever did handle the money, honestly, because it's a lot.
Yeah, we're not brokers.
Yeah, we say all the time we're not cruise brokers because it's a lot. Oh.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and it's a lot. Like I had one cruise go through, I want to say 5 hands, and at some point there was Splash of Romance on there, and then it got pulled off, and then people paid more for it because they thought because the price was a whole hot mess. And so honestly, those people never got that money because they overpaid and the cruise wasn't missing. And I asked the client for the money back, and the only thing I can do is say, hey, you owe these people this money. And the money didn't go through me. But of course, I'm the one that looks like the bad guy because I'm the person. But it had nothing to do with me. The client didn't pay the money back. She was like, nope. So, I mean, but it's also her prerogative. She wants to sell it over. I mean, if you want it, you can also, I mean, you're not supposed to sell it over, but I've seen people do it. But I think she was under the impression that was the price. She thought she did. And then when she realized she got $200 extra from it, she was like, all right, done. And there's nothing I can do about it at that point. I mean, I sent numerous emails saying, you have got to pay this extra $200. So that did not happen. So yeah. So what else? You can change names, sell.
You can change names up to 48 hours prior to sailing. So if you do find yourself in a bind, just keep that in mind, because you can't do it the day before. You can't do it the day of. It has to be at least 48 hours. And that is a maritime law thing.
Yeah, because they have to turn in the list.
Yeah. So that's, I think that's across any cruise.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it is, I think for that matter, like if you are really stuck and you do want to get rid of it, we've actually sold cruises here, for the agency. at times, which is great. So it's nice to be able to name change.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long that's going to last, though, because there have been lots of scams on it. So I'm just not sure how long it's going to last. Truly. How long the Fair and Flexible program will be here, too, for that matter. Is there anything else that we're missing? I'm trying to think on that. I think got it.
Yeah, I think we did.
All right. Well, that's how you cancel, even though we don't want you to. Neither does Virgin, not just us. But that is how, those are the rules of cancellation and the options that you have.
Yeah, if you have an old MNVV, we beg you not to cancel.
Oh yeah.
Please move the sailing.
That's another reason why too. And I also try to figure out, I'm like, okay, how can we save this MNVV? Because the legacy MNVVs are so hard to come by and people love them. And so I'm always trying to save it somehow. And I'm like, no, it's like death for me when someone wants to cancel an old MNV. I was like, no,
I know.
I'm like, do you know how easy it would be for me to get rid of that?
I know.
So yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, I think that was it. Super easy.
Short and sweet.
I know. Sad one, though. We don't want you to cancel. Ooh, we don't want to cancel either. All right. Well, thank you for joining us on our super sad cancellation one. No, I'm just kidding. It was not super sad, but it was kind of boring now that I think about it. I couldn't say anything.
It's policy. Policy's always boring.
I know, right? Wah. Thank you for joining us on this. Let us know if you have any questions on it, obviously. And we'll see you next week, but we'll leave you with our favorite phrase, which is... You float our boat. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.